All right, folks, welcome back to the Crisis Report. It is November 5th, 2025, and oh my, are people celebrating, but also there's a lot of people that are not celebrating. There's a lot of problems going on out there because as this one is an entitled longest ever, that's the shutdown, is the day 36 today. So we're going to go through all of that, get you all up to speed with everything, and longest ever. So it's not helping the administration, not helping anyone really. So I think everybody's kind of pissed off. So we're going to go through it all. We're brought to you by Augusta Precious Metals. I'll have that a little bit later on. It's not going to be a long one. It's going to be a nice, quick and to the point. Tired. A lot going on in my world. So we're barely keeping up, but we're doing our best. But all good things. And that's just the way it is. Just the way it is, baby. All right, so let's get started on your crisis report for November 5th, 2025, entitled The Longest Ever. Bush. All right, let's go. Share the screen. Here we go. Let's go up. Get over here. Then over here. There it is. Longest ever. Hit that like button. Love it. Love it. All right. Let's get started. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has proposed taxing New Yorkers who moved into Florida and even talks about building a wall to keep them out. President Trump warns Republicans to pass voter ID laws, saying that without them, they will never win another election again. That's kind of depressing. Zoran Mamdani says one of his top goals as mayor is to wipe out the scourge of anti-Semitism in New York City. Sure. ADL CEO Jonathan Greenblatt has announced the creation of the Mamdani Monitor, track all policies, appointments, and actions by the Mamdani administration that affect Jewish people to ensure he complies. Oh, nice little video over dedicated to him, short on PrepperNow that just dropped. If you want to check that one out, shows kind of all the different reactions, and of course, kind of strange and evil at the same time. Typical what you would expect. DOJ charged 3 additional Chinese nationals at the University of Michigan for illegally bringing biological materials into the United States. Wonderful. China will lift export control measures on 15 U.S. entities and pause such measures for 16 others for 1 year, starting November 10th. Billionaire trader Jeff Yass is donating $100 million to the fledgling University of Austin, co-founded by Joe Lonsdale and Barry Weiss. NVIDIA founder Jensen Huang says that China is going to win the AI race. Explosion and toxic ammonia leak from the CF Industries plant near Yazoo City, Mississippi. Official order evacuations after a massive plume has spread. And the morning after Mamdani's victory, there were some interesting National Socialist Germany symbols all over Magen David Yeshiva in Gravesend, that is in Brooklyn, if you know your city like I do. Biggest Jewish school in NYC. There's a lot of Jewish folks in Brooklyn, and they got a little taste of what's to come. U.S. is going to begin canceling flights from Friday as the government shutdown is dragged on. China is ordering a new state-funded data center to use only domestically made AI chips, forcing removal of foreign chips like NVIDIA, AMD, and Intel, according to Reuters. Trump's approval rating is down 50% with 18 to 29-year-olds since the beginning of 2025 because they're broke AF, can't buy anything, and every time they turn on the TV station, all the focus is on the Middle East or something overseas. So my suggestion to the Trump administration is to start doing things domestically here, and even if it's just for show. Yes, everybody knows that the problems going on economically, if you have half a brain, started, years to decades ago. We all get it. But these people aren't the smartest, and you're going to be a post later while you understand why. they have very short memories and they don't understand things, and so they're not really into you right now. So you got to do things to get them back. Russian Defense Minister Andrei Belousov says the United States held an exercise in October aimed at stimulating a preemptive missile nuclear strike on Russia. Great. The United States intends to deploy missiles in Europe and the Asia-Pacific region that have a flight time of 6 to 7 minutes from Germany to central Russia. European Commission is working on a project known as Military Schengen for rapid movement of troops and ordnance in the EU in the event of a potential conflict with Russia. Trump administration is considering Saudi Arabia's request to purchase 48 F-35A Lightning II fighter jets from the United States. Pentagon has confirmed the potential contract ahead of Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's visit to the White House, scheduled in 2 weeks. NATO will integrate drones into its armed forces deployed along the border with Russia. Ukrainian strike exploded Russia's ammunition depots in the Donetsk region. Muslim sectarian candidates continue their rise in Britain. In 2 council by-elections yesterday in Burnley, independent Muslim candidates unseated their Labour rivals by a huge margin. Why? Because Labourers are douchebags. Same area last year elected one of the Gaza independents to parliament during the Labour landslide. With council elections coming up in May, this trend of Muslims ditching Labour for their own is set to continue. GTFO, the United Kingdom now, folks, if you live there. Germany dodges Russia's offer of non-aggression guarantee for NATO. Amid enduring anxiety over the potential for the Ukraine war to escalate into a third world war, Russia last week offered to cement its disinterest in invading Europe by entering into a formal non-aggression pact with the European Union and NATO states. However, they're douchebags, and they quickly signaled its disinterest in such a treaty, at least for now, because Lord knows Germany is going to kick Russia's butt, right? In making the case for pouring weapons and money into Ukraine and urging it to prolong the war at any cost, Western hawks routinely claim that Russia President Vladimir Putin is bent on reconstituting the Soviet Union and eventually conquering Europe. Speaking at the 3rd Minsk International Conference in Belarus last Tuesday, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov not only rejected those accusations, but said the country was willing to enter into a non-aggression pact. Idiots. Jacob Fry has been reelected Minneapolis mayor, beating a challenge by Somali nationalist Omar Fateh. TBUSA, Florida University has censored and banned a large number of our members from their chats, citing hate speech for the student support of Tucker Carlson and dedication to free speech. Disappointed, the TPUSA chapter has decided to censor and cancel those that they disagree with. Turning Point clubs are now instructing students to purge Tucker Carlson supporters from their friend groups, now willing to work with college Republicans over their extremism, now unwilling, which turned out to be the condemning Tucker. Smart move, guys. You guys are doing great. Yesterday should tell you everything you need to know about how things are trending for you. U.S. government shutdown has entered its 36th day, officially now the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. President Donald Trump and the government shutdown says we are in the midst of a disastrous Democrat-created shutdown, but the youngins are too stupid to know that. That's officially the longest shutdown in American history. The Democrat radicals in the Senate have shown zero interest in reopening the government. They'll take down the country if they have to. Yeah, they will. POTUS, Donald J. Trump on Democrat shutdown. Millions of Americans are going to be without SNAP benefits. Countless public servants are now not being paid, and the air traffic control system is under increasing strain. We must get the government back open. Getting better with my Trump. Heavy bombardments and artillery are ongoing daily across several sectors of Gaza, behind the yellow line in the area of under the IDF control. This morning, a fire belt attack took place in the Bani Sukhela neighborhood of eastern Khan Yunis, part of the broader series of Israeli artillery and airstrike stretching from the northwest of Bet Lachia and eastern Jabalia in the neighborhoods of Tufa, Shajaya, and Zetoun in Gaza City, North Gaza. Similar shelling has also been recorded in eastern Khan Yunis, Rafah, intermittently in Deir al-Balah, al-Burej, and al-Maghazi, South Gaza. From one of the biggest Gazan channels, the war is still ongoing, but currently refined to the areas controlled by the occupation in the Gaza Strip inside the Yellow Line. Trump declares the world that he's ready to save the Nigerian and the global Christian population from extermination and persecution. Christianity faces an existential threat in Nigeria. The United States cannot sit idly by, and while such atrocities occur on countless other countries, we are ready, willing, and able to save our great Christian population around the world. Speaking from the White House, Trump says the representatives from the Democratic Party should sit down and agree on a middle ground regarding U.S. health care funding, repeating his famous line, Obamacare is a total disaster. Speaking from the White House, Trump calls on Congress to end the filibuster, stupid, and pass the budget, calling Democrats on Congress an example of Trump derangement syndrome. You guys do that, they're going to lose everything, and they're going to go freaking full-on authoritarian. Top Trump advisor says the president will focus on affordability next year. Good. And young Americans face rising memory troubles, and it's not an aging issue. No, it's a long-term survey of over 4.5 million U.S. adults, 2013 to 2023, found self-reported serious difficulty concentrating, remembering, or making decisions rose from about 5.3 to 7.4%. That is alarming. What were we talking about? Squirrel. Per recent CNN SRSS survey, President Trump's approval rating has fallen to 37%. Now this is CNN. Second term, close to his all-time low of 34 in his first term. I don't believe polls. 18 to 34, Trump's approval has dropped 12 points from February to 29% today. 68% of Americans surveyed believe things are going pretty bad, very badly in the country because everybody's broke. 72% rate the economic conditions as poor, because they are. Over half of Americans believe President Trump's handling of foreign policy is hurting America's standing in the world. Zohran Mamdani, let's see how he does in New York. We'll help him. We want New York to be successful. He also said, we still don't lose wars. We just don't fight to win sometimes. Stay around in a country for 15 years, bomb the hell out of everybody, and then makes everybody miserable. Nobody knows why we're there. Yeah, that's pretty much true. U.S. government shutdown is causing a major air travel disruption. Sorry about that. Starting Friday, Transportation Department will cut scheduled flights by 10%. 40 major airports unless Congress reaches a funding deal. This is the next big problem that's coming down the pike, folks. Okay? What a disaster. Yeah. U.S. government shutdown causing major we got that. It's a doubler. The nation is mourning the death of former Vice President Dick Cheney. Tragically passed away, unfortunately, without getting us into a World War III. The renowned politician, avid hunter, both animal and men, 43rd most popular vice president ever, passed away peacefully at 84, surrounded by family on his fourth heart. Dedicated his life to achieving his dream of devastating global conflict, and it's a shame he passed before any of his work came to fruition, said close friend John Bolton, while adding his signature to the latest batch of bombs coming off the assembly line. Quote, we can only do our best to carry on his legacy until this wretched sphere is baptized in the holy fires of thermonuclear war. It's what Dick would want. Cheney was known for vastly increasing the surveillance state, his aggressive foreign policy of invading Iraq and Afghanistan, and also for shooting a dude in the face. We've lost a titan, Bolton said. At publishing time, reports from the celestial realm reported Cheney had opted to go downstairs because it has oil. Friends, that is your crisis report for November 5th, 2025. Remember the 5th of November. All right, friends. We're brought to you by Augusta Precious Metals. You want to take your IRA, 401k, put it in the gold and silver. You might want to do that because we're trending towards a debt bomb, and you want to preserve your wealth. So, yeah, check that link out in the description. Also, darken out the bell, get the notifications. Join us as a member, maybe, like Bad Bobber or Water Tiger. Huh? Yep. And we're on Truth, let's see, Truth, Gab, can't think, Minds. I don't have an attention span anymore, see? Twitter, X, Subscribe Star, Locals, Substack. That's the gist of it. Yep. Join us as a member here on the old YouTube, okay? But that's it, friends. That's your crisis report for November 5th, 2025. God bless you all. We're going to take it on out. We'll see you tomorrow on the alert. And we appreciate you. Share out the video. And I will see you later. Thank you, Sergeant Rocker. We'll see. We've got some good things going on in the background. We're busy, though. Fill you in a little bit later on. God bless. Have a great night.